What's going on, baseball fans? Jeremy Laracuente here for the Baseball Banter Broadcast. And on this broadcast, we're bringing you our weekly series looking at 3 teams playing well, 3 that are not, and 1 to be on the lookout for. This is MLB 3 Up, 3 Down, Week 3. So we're going to get into it with the first up. Now that first up is the same as last week, and it is the Tampa Bay Rays. Right now, Tampa Bay is 13-0, and there's a lot of conversation now as to whether or not this is a real thing from these Tampa Bay Rays. They've been playing, they've been winning, obliterating their opponents, and for Tampa, this isn't, it's seemingly a thing, just a blip on the radar. But we do have to kind of temper our expectations. They have not been playing teams that are actually going to be competing for anything this season. Thus far, they've played the Detroit Tigers, the Washington Nationals. They're now playing the Red Sox. So we have not seen real stiff competition for the Tampa Bay Rays. Now, that's not to knock what they've been doing, because 13-0 is 13-0. But it's something that we have to be excited for if you're a Tampa Bay Rays fan, something that you have to be interested in as a baseball fan to see them doing this, especially to open up the season. But we have to temper our expectations, because right now Tampa has not really been challenged, in my opinion. And that has been evident by the fact of all these different scores that they've been able to put up against all these teams. So they have been facing off against teams where they should be obliterating the pitching. That's exactly what they've been doing. So big ups to them. They are the first up. But again, temper our expectations. It is very early on. Now, as we get into the first down, it is the Oakland Athletics. One such team that is not playing in the right direction is the Oakland A's. Right now, Oakland is 3-10 for the season. And over their last 10 games, they're 2-8. And this is going to be a team that is going to struggle all season long. This is going to be a team that is going to find themselves in a position where they truly aren't going to be competing. That's just plain and simple. This is a team that is going through a rebuild mode. When we look at the fact that they're negative 50 in the run differential column, this is the worst in Major League Baseball right now. There's no doubt about it. There are no big-time superstar names. There's no seemingly budding superstars that we're about to see, as Oakland has had in the past. I mean, this is a team that just got rid of trading over the last couple of all seasons, Matt Chapman, Matt Olson. There's no real budding superstar at present moment in this Oakland A's organization. So there's a lot to be questioning as far as what the plan is for Oakland, where they're putting themselves in terms of their positioning in the division. It seems right now like Oakland is going through the bottom stages of another rebuilding mode. So right now, Oakland finds himself as the first down. When it comes to the second up, it is the Atlanta Braves. Right now, the Braves record stands at 9-4, and over their last 10 games, they are 7-3. They're plus 10 in the run differential column. They have a 3-game win streak going, and this is an organization and a team that everyone believes is going to be there at the end. This is a team that is hungry to compete for the postseason and to get back to the World Series. It's a very well-run organization. We have a video up last season from this channel here, the Baseball Banter Broadcast, naming Alex Anthopoulos as the best GM in baseball. He's been able to lock up his entire team for the next several years. You know, there's I believe one player that is a pitcher that specifically is kind of holding out to hit free agency, but outside of that, the Braves and Alex Anthopoulos have done an immaculate job of being able to solidify their core. They've locked in all their players to very team-friendly deals, in my opinion, and to me, that is just the signs of a super well-run organization. Each team does things their own way. Yankees tend to let their guys get to free agency and then try to re-sign them, but the way that the Braves have been able to redo this, being able to put themselves in this position to be perennial contenders again, this isn't the first time we've seen this. I mean, the Braves had a run where they were the top team in the NL East for 14 straight seasons. So this is a team and an organization that is run incredibly well, and these are just the signs of that. as we look at the second down, it is the Detroit Tigers. Overall, a record of 3-9, and over Detroit's last 10 games, they are 3-7. They did just win last night at the time of this recording, but they're -40 in the run differential column, and we're starting to see that there's a lot of things not going well with Detroit. Javi Baez would have several blunders over the last few days on the base pass, just kind of mental lapses, seemingly like he's checked out. Now, this was a guy who just signed this big deal with the Tigers just 2 seasons ago, literally before the 2022 season, and it was a curious move even then. But now when you look at it, it almost seems as if Javi Baez is trying to get himself removed from the team. And this is a very curious move, because Javi was one of these guys that really put himself in the trenches with the Cubs, really put himself in a position where he was a favorite of Cubs fans because of how hard he tried, how hard he played. And right now, we're not seeing that in Detroit. There's a lot of things not going well with the Detroit Tigers, and that is evidenced by the way that they've been playing baseball. Again, -40 in the run differential column. This is a team that is 0-3 at home. Yes, they're 3-6 on the road. This is a problematic situation that they find themselves in, and this is a team that is struggling in a very big way. And when we look at these last 10 games where they've been 0-3 at home, where they've been 3-6 on the road, this is a team that is going to find themselves towards the bottom of the league and really struggling unless they can figure it out. They have some great talented young pitchers on the way, but they have to get them healthy to be able to really contribute this season. And I just don't know that it's even really going to be worth it for Detroit to continue to try to push them to get back to the field if this is the kind of play that they're going to be getting from their very highly paid shortstop. And as we look at the third up, it is the Milwaukee Brewers. Now, Milwaukee has a record of 9-4, and over their last 10 games, they are 7-3. They're +25 in the run differential column. This is a team that is built on pitching, but they've been able to get some timely hitting. And for Milwaukee, they were going to be competing with the Cardinals and the Cubs for this division. And in my opinion, Milwaukee has been a team that has been truly underrated. Now, the question with Milwaukee is, and it's for a couple of different teams that find themselves in this same division, just on the opposite side, is that with these smaller market teams in these central divisions, are they going to be able to have enough room given to them by the owner, given to the front office, to be able to support this team and facilitate any other necessary moves to be able to get them into a position to succeed in the postseason? We've seen them be able to get there because of the strength of their pitching, but not really have enough to get over the edge. Is this the season that we see that happen for the Milwaukee Brewers? Right now, they are playing extremely well. And if you're a fan of the Brewers, you're loving what you're seeing. So this is a definite move that has to be made, in my opinion, for the Brewers. If they can get another big-time bat in that lineup, if they can get that extra bullpen arm come the trading deadline, this could be a team that really puts themselves in a very, very good position, not just to make the postseason, but to have a very deep run. Now, as we look at the third down, it is the division rival of the Milwaukee Brewers. It's the St. Louis Cardinals. Right now, St. Louis is a 5-8 record, but over their last 10 games, they're 3-7. They just dropped their last game. They're -8 in the run differential column. This is a team that was expected to be competing at the top of this division. Yes, it is early, so it could very easily change between now and next week. But for the Cardinals right now, things are just not hitting on the right cylinders. The way that I mentioned with Javi Baez and the Detroit Tigers and things not playing well, we've seen Ali Marmol, the manager for the Cardinals, and Tyler O'Neill, their outfielder, their budding outfield star, already come to blows in the media. This is an organization that has never really said to play themselves out in this light, in this way. And it's very interesting to me to see how things are progressing for this team. It's going to be a very long season if things continue to go this way for St. Louis. For now, they find themselves on the down, but they could move quickly in the opposite direction if things start to change a little bit. And lastly, the team that we are on the lookout for is the Minnesota Twins. They are 9-4, and over the last 10 games they are 6-4, but they have a 3-game win streak going, and they are plus 24 in the run differential column. This is a team that absolutely obliterated my Yankees last night at the time of this recording, and there's no doubt about it that Minnesota just has a different feel to them, a different look to them this season. And for the most part, it's a lot of the same pieces that were there last year, but for whatever reason, they're starting to make the inroads and the strides necessary to start really competing at the top of this American League Central Division. I think that when you look at what the Central is for the American League, it's an open division. There are 3 teams perfectly equipped to be able to walk away with the division and be able to win it, be able to put themselves in the postseason hunt. For me, I think that there's an opportunity for Minnesota to really make themselves stand out. They had a lot of inefficiency, a lot of injuries last year. The White Sox had a lot of injuries, and the Guardians were able to really take away the division. But that being said, I think that this year is a very different season, and Minnesota is trying to put themselves back into the postseason and for a very deep run. So it'll be interesting to see how things play out. This has been the 3 up, 3 down for week 3 in Major League Baseball, but I want to hear from you. Let me know, baseball fans, what are your thoughts, your feelings on the teams in Major League Baseball? How is your team progressing? Let me know that down in the comments, or find me over on Twitter at Banter_baseball, where we can keep the conversation rolling. If you want to find more from us, head over to our other social media accounts on Instagram and TikTok at Baseball Banter Broadcast. You can also find a corresponding article on this very video here on Laracuentelegend.com, where we have a ton of new articles that go up, mostly covering the world of Major League Baseball, but new articles daily. And we also have our merchandise shop, BaseballBanterBroadcast.com. So if you want to head over there, we have a ton of promo codes you can use to stay on some Banter merch. Now, if you're following us here on this YouTube channel and you've never hit the subscribe button, I ask that you do so, as we are trying to continue growing this baseball community. So by hitting that subscribe button and the bell for post notifications, you can truly help us continue to grow and build this baseball family. So I want to thank you guys once again for tuning in. Keep it locked in, as the next broadcast we're going to continue bantering about baseball. Peace.